Hello everyone, Rurikhan here, bringing you another edition of Kast. I know I haven't really been as regular as I would like with doing casts for you guys, because it's something that I plan to do a little bit more frequently, and I still have that particular plan. I still want to do casts more frequently, but unfortunately, due to time constraints and the simple fact that I'm doing 3 playthroughs, or was doing 3 playthroughs at the same time, things got a little bit complicated, especially with video release schedules and all kinds of other crazy stuff getting in the way. But that's what we're here to address today. I want to talk to you guys a little bit, just do the kind of relaxed show that I really enjoy doing with the cast. And yeah, you guys already know what you're in for, so let's get started. So starting right out, I would like to get started with a couple of shout outs. For starters, I would like to give a shout out to Oscar X. Actually, I should have taken some more notes on this. I'm really sorry. It's just been a little bit chaotic recently with all the stuff that I've been doing, and I forgot to actually take proper notes. I mean, I took some notes, but they weren't necessarily the best notes that I could have taken, if you know what I mean. But anyways, I wanted to ask Oscar X. This is the way that I wanted to thank Oscar X. This is the way that he presented himself in the email, for sending me some music for the band that he works with. And it's actually some really good music. I haven't had a chance to use it yet because I was trying to use some of it in the Miyazaki playthrough, but it didn't really fit into the episodes themselves. So I'm still looking into opportunities of where I can actually use his music. I want to give him a little bit of a promotion, so I'm getting started with that particular promotion right here on Cast. There's going to be a link in the description box. And if there is nothing there, make sure that you butcher me in the comment section, because you guys know how forgetful I get due to the ridiculous amounts of uploads that I do. Sometimes I forget to put in proper descriptions. So if there's no links in the description, please bang me upside the head in the comment section, because I will remember it and I will put it there. As usual, I count on you guys to kind of help me through with, maintaining links in the description and whatnot, because it's something you guys know that I'm not terribly good about. But anyways, his band is called Second Chance, and he has sent me the music. It's actually a YouTube link. He has sent me the songs and tracks. Sorry, translation problems. The tracks Anesthetics, Perfect Silence, and Sleepless Faces. And I actually really enjoyed it, so you guys need to go and check that out from Oscar X. Pretty amazing stuff you got there, good sir. Keep up the good work. And I will be trying to use it in my live streams and in my videos and whatnot. And I will be sure to give you guys credit and to link back to your YouTube channel so that your music can be exposed to more people. So thank you very much, Oscar X. Next, I would also like to thank Sajin Ivan. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce your name, dude. Sorry. I know that you're from Great Mother Russia. And he donated to the cause. So thank you very much, Sajin Ivan. It was very kind of you. And not only that, he wrote me a really nice email, and I had a lot of fun. I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what the email was about, but it was really cool, and it really cheered me up when I read that email. Let's just say it involved vodka, balalaikas, a Yushanka, and a bear. So well, I'm just going to throw that out there to you guys, and you guys can think about that for a little bit. But it was really great. Definitely one of those emails that's like, from Russia with love. Thank you very much, Sajin Ivan. You definitely put a smile on my face the day that I read that email. It was pretty cool. Then I would also like to give a shout out to EdJoy Universal. I think that's how he addresses himself. It's kind of weird because he's got like EdJoy Universal, EdJoy Trailers. He's got a lot of names in his thing, but there's going to be a link in the description And if there's not, as usual, feel free to butcher me in the comment section and I will eventually get to it. But supposedly, if everything goes according to plan, there will be a link in the description to his channel. And why am I giving a shout out to this particular individual? Because recently, well, not really recently, but I haven't done a cons cast in a while now, have I? But he reached out to me and he asked me if he could actually use some of my Shadow of the Colossus footage. If you guys remember, I have a full playthrough of Shadow of the Colossus on my channel. It's a game that really, like, it touched me on a whole different level. Like, you know that feeling when you really play a game that you know that it's a really well-crafted game. That's what I got out of Shadow of the Colossus. An amazing story, just amazing exploration, combat. You get a really good vibe from Shadow of the Colossus. At least I got. There's no even way to describe it now that I'm thinking about it. There's no way to describe what your Shadow of the Colossus experience is all about, because you have to actually play it and experience it to figure it out for yourself, what it meant to you. So if you haven't played Shadow of the Colossus yet, I cannot recommend it enough. But anyways, that is completely unrelated to the topic. EdJoy Universal came to me, sent me a message, asked me if he could use some of my Shadow of the Colossus footage, to which I said, yes, I have no problem with people using footage from my channel. I appreciate if people credit me for it, which he most clearly did in his video, and it was very nice of him. And he basically used my footage to go ahead and make a fan trailer to Shadow of the Colossus, and it looked amazing. So there's going to be a link to both his channel and that particular video. So if you guys like his stuff, make sure to subscribe, support him, because he does some really good quality stuff. And it was fun. I enjoyed watching my footage being used in that particular way. I thought he did a really good job of it. So you guys should check that out. And I'm just throwing a shout out there because I thought it was good work that he did. And that's pretty much just it. Check out EdJoy Universal. He's awesome. The next shout out is actually a kind of a congratulations thing, which I would like to congratulate someone that you guys have heard me kind of talk about, I think, recently, who is VaatiVidya. I promoted some of his stuff on Twitter and Facebook and whatnot through my social networks. And it's funny because first I promoted some of his stuff, then eventually some people came back and promoted his stuff to me, stuff that I had already promoted. It was just really funny. But basically what happened is that this guy, VaatiVidya, does a lot of Dark Souls content as well, videos kind of in the same style as Epic Name Bro. I mean, not really in the same style, because Epic Name Bro does it different. I mean, everyone has their own style, and he has his own specific style. The reason I kind of compare him to Epic Name Bro is because the kind of stuff that they do is different from the stuff that I tend to do. You guys know I like to do playthroughs, show you crazy stuff, do kind of cosplay playthroughs, fool around. I like doing that stuff. I also like doing analysis videos and all that kinds of thing. They kind of focus more on creating the whole lore aspect of Dark Souls, I guess is what I mean. And I don't focus as much on lore because, to be completely honest, I don't think I'm that good at making those types of videos, but they do it. And I think that he's doing some really awesome work, which is why I kind of promoted him. And I was actually really glad to find out this week that he's actually pretty much surpassed me in subscribers, like ridiculously, like just way up there, and he's growing at an astounding rate. So it's always good to see a fellow YouTuber, do good for himself, which is the reason why I'm kind of congratulating him. And if you haven't checked out his content yet, there's also going to be a link in the description box below, and you can go and check it out for yourself. I personally really like it, and I'm glad he's doing okay. Also, a little bit of trivia that I realized as I was getting ready to film this particular conscast is that VaatiVidya is from Australia, and the Hat of Souls is an Australian hat. So I think that I'm going to have to go ahead and tell him to buy me a new hat. Just kidding. But I'm just saying, like, it's a funny thing that I had a couple of conversations with him this week. And today, as I was getting ready to record this, I was like, wait a second, VaatiVidya is Australian. My Hat of Souls is Australian too. It's just, I know it doesn't make any sense. It's not supposed to make sense. It's just something I thought was funny, but my mind does not make sense a lot of the times. So anyways, let's move on. Those were the shout outs I wanted to give today. I might have missed a couple of shout outs. Just my head is not good right now. It hasn't been good for quite some time. And, so I tend to forget things. I have, however, been sleeping. I have to admit, I have been sleeping most of the times at least 6 hours, which is really, really good for me. At least 6 hours of sleep. Whoa, that's amazing. That's like a big upgrade for me. So I have been getting some sleep, so that's at least good. Apart from the day where I recorded the Dark Souls 2 analysis. That day I did not get much sleep. Which is interesting because now that I think about it, that was actually yesterday, or was it the day before? I forget. I'm confused. I'm sorry. Anyways, this is actually being recorded on the 12th of April. My intention was to release this today at midnight. Most likely it will not happen because I was held up by a kind of a meeting thing that I had with the guys over at Portugal Gaming. As you guys know, I also do this little side project with Portugal Gaming so that I can do some videos in Portuguese every now and then. So I was held up because I was taking care of some stuff for them first. And after that, I got into a conversation with Sidestrafe, and basically I just ended up delaying this video a little bit more than I would like. So I'm not exactly sure when it's going to go up, but it's being recorded at around 3 a.m. in, well, actually, if it's 3 a.m., it's actually the 13th of April. So just to kind of give you guys a little, get you guys situated on I'm just so confused at this point. Anyways, moving right along. So the very first topic I have to discuss with you guys today is actually community interaction. Now, if you guys remember a long time ago when I did the Rurikhan show, I actually would do, you know, Rurikhan's Q&A and everything, and I would try to answer everyone's questions as well as I could. And I actually really do miss doing that, but it's impossible for me at this point because with all the videos that I've been putting up and all that stuff, if I still have to go through comments and stuff and whatnot and try to prepare a video just to answer every single question, it's impossible. It really is. And I really hate the fact that I can't do it anymore because it's something I really enjoyed doing, answering people's questions on a video. I really enjoy that, but it's become very, very hard for me to actually do it at this point, as you guys can imagine. So one of the things that I definitely wanted to do for Cast is to try and get input from you guys. That was strangely enunciated, but I wanted to get some input from you guys about topics that you guys would like to discuss. Now, if you guys remember, I did for a while the Cast PGN edition, which is basically they were feeding me news for me to do a news program for them. I would use those news and make a news program for myself as well. But to be completely honest, I did not like the end result of the Cast PGN edition, so to speak, because a lot of the times it would be news that I wouldn't be interested in because I kind of go... I kind of march to the beat of my own drum. So it's usually very specific news that I'm interested in when it comes to gaming. Like, for instance, a big thing that happened this week was the whole debacle about Adam Orth. And it's like, I see people going out the walls about that. Like, oh my God, that guy's such a douche. That guy's such a bit of a... Whatever. There's like this big thing going on about this Adam Orth guy, right? And it's like, I'm just looking at all those news and I'm thinking, I honestly don't care about any of this stuff. If anything, I wish they wouldn't have made such a big deal out of it because the guy lost his fucking job and that sucks. That's really all I can say about that situation. I mean, sure, he was an asshole, but he still lost his job. I mean, it kind of sucks. You know, imagine it's like all of a sudden I wouldn't be able to make YouTube videos anymore because I would lose my job. It's like, it's a big deal. So I really think the guy was an asshole, sure, whatever. But there was a big overreaction from the internet to that thing. And it's like, again, it's just the type of thing that I don't care about. I really don't. I don't care about that stuff. And that's the reason why I'm saying that I did not really enjoy doing Conscast PGN edition, because there was a lot of stuff that I would talk about that I did not care. Now, the thing is, the plan that I have, at least, or I'm counting on you guys to really make this thing work, but is I would like to have at least one community topic every single Conscast. Like, for instance, right now, this would be the time on a Conscast where I would be discussing a community topic. And the reason I would like that is, I mean, usually you guys are interested in a lot of the same stuff that I am, because obviously you're my audience, so to speak. You guys basically follow me and watch some of my videos because you guys are interested in things that I'm interested as well. So I would have to say that most likely you guys will be interested in a lot of stuff that I'm interested too, apart from the videos that I produce, you know? So my idea was that you guys would leave me in the comment section. Now, I'm not going to say just put something special here or something. Just look, just leave a suggestion. And anyone that wants to leave a suggestion, please check in the, I mean, you know, just give a quick look, see in the comments to make sure it hasn't been suggested before. And if it has been suggested, you should thumbs it up to make sure that that one would make its way to the top. And then every single time I would do a Conscast, I would go to the previous Conscast and check out to see like what was the most voted topic that you guys wanted me to sound off on, because I think that would be a really cool thing. It would still allow you guys to kind of like ask me questions if you guys kind of organize yourselves, kind of organize your thoughts and whatever as the great community that you guys are. And just leave me either a question, a topic, anything, something that you want me to spend some time talking about and debating, and I could address it on the next Conscast. So that is something I would very much like to do, and it would definitely help with the weekly format that I want to bring to the Conscast. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm asking for your help, because I don't want to just report news to you guys, because I don't think that works for me. It's just not something that I'm into. You know, I really like doing the news show that I do for Portugal Gaming. Don't get me wrong, I like it because it's a team effort thing. But when I'm by myself doing a video, you know, discussing news is most definitely something that I'm not that passionate about, unless maybe if something that you guys bring out in the comment section is actually something that I could be interested in, which is why I'm very curious to see what you guys will leave in the comment section for me to discuss as a community interaction topic. I would really, really like for this to work. And then every single week I would have a fresh topic to address. And it would also be a topic that most of you guys would be interested in as well. Now, just make sure before you submit stuff, before you go to the comments and say, oh, Rurikhan, here's a good topic that you could talk about in your next Conscast. Just read through the comments and make sure that it hasn't been suggested yet, because it would be a lot easier if people would just thumbs up comments that have already been suggested. You know, unless it's something that's completely different from the suggestions that are already there. Because obviously if you start thumbsing up stuff, it's easier for me to get to it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I read every single comment that reaches my channel. The problem is that YouTube has actually messed itself up again. Because the way that I usually check my comments is I go onto my email and I have a special section there that says YouTube. I go into YouTube, and then in there, it's like every single comment made in every single video up until the last time I checked them. So I'll go through all of them. And the problem is, previously, YouTube would show me the whole comment in an email. So I would already know, like, okay, this is something I need to reply, or this is just a comment that doesn't really need me to reply to it, you know, because sometimes people just leave a comment like, hey, great video, awesome, or something like that. And it's like, I really appreciate it, but I don't think it's very useful for me to go there and reply. Other times people are like, oh, how did you did this specific thing? Explain it to me. Then I will go there and I'll try to reply to every single comment. At least that's the way I try to do it. Sometimes I might not reply to a comment if it has been responded like 100 times before, you know, I get tired too. But that's the way I do it. And recently YouTube has actually made that thing harder for me to do because it changed the format in which the emails get to my inbox. So basically it clips halfway. So if your comment has more than, I don't know, a certain number of characters, YouTube clips it. Now, this in itself was bad, but they did do something, which is if you want to reply to the comment, click here, and then I clicked that button and it would take me directly to the comment it was referring to, and then I could read the full comment on YouTube. So that was harder, but it was still doable. Now, the problem is currently they broke that too. So when I click that button, it just takes me to the video. It does not show me the specific comments. So a lot of times I'm actually forced to go into a video and then I click show all comments and then I'll go through all the comments looking for a specific comment that I need to reply to. Yes, you guys might not believe it, but I do it. I guarantee you that I do it. And a lot of times though, there's comments that sometimes disappear. I don't understand why. Either people delete them or YouTube deletes them, but there has been multiple occasions where I've seen a comment in my inbox and then I'll go to the video and I'll click show all comments. I'll scroll through every single comment and I will not find the specific comment I wanted to reply. So it's hard, but I try doing that every single day, going through all of them. I know that eventually it will get to a point where I won't even be able to do it because it's simply very hard to keep tabs on that. But I still try to do that as much as I possibly can. And the reason why I'm talking about this, I don't even know anymore. I lost it. Oh yeah, I was talking because of the thumbs up thing, because if you thumbs it up, it's easier for me to find it. So like I can go and I'll find eventually most of the comments, but if it's thumbs up, it's a lot easier because I'll just go to the video and it usually shows up on top. So that would make it a lot easier for me to pick the community interaction topic. So I really hope you guys help me out with this and you guys suggest some really cool topics that you want me to talk about, because at the end of the day, I want to talk to you guys to entertain you guys. It's not... You know, I don't want this, you know, that's happening right here. I don't want this to be like television, you know. I don't want my channel to eventually become something that is like me talking to you. I want it to be both ways. It's definitely something that I found in my channel and it's something that I want to keep doing as much as I possibly can. So please, I really, really need the community support here. I need you guys to come here and suggest topics, because I think that will really start like a movement in the channel. I feel that would really allow us to, again, be more interactive. That's the way I always want to do my channel. As much interaction as possible and as least of me just blathering out information to you guys that maybe you guys care or not. Now, obviously, right now that's actually a problem, but I mean, it's a problem because of the fact that I'm doing a lot of videos in advance. There's not as much of that interaction as I would like, but I will address that in a little bit here. So that was the community interaction topic that I wanted to address with you guys. Next up, let's talk just a little bit about Dark Souls 2, just kind of catching up, just kind of informing you guys of what I did with the gameplay analysis, and because it also is going to bring in a different topic that I wanted to address a little bit today. But anyways, as you guys know, I did the gameplay analysis of Dark Souls 2, the gameplay footage that was shown at IGN. I pretty much broke it down as much as I possibly could and extrapolated out of it as much information as I possibly could, because I know that's what you guys kind of come to expect from my channel. Like, I could not get myself to do like a short video, just, you know, like a short, fast video. Despite the fact that that would most likely get me a lot more YouTube views, I couldn't get myself to do it, because at the end of the day, I know that's not why you guys subscribe to me. Because I mean, one of the things that you guys will notice is that if you go to my channel, most videos are half an hour long or more, unless it's a specific, very topic focused video. So I do long videos. It's something that I like doing. I like having these long conversations with you guys, expressing myself. And I think that's one of the reasons why people subscribe to me. I think the length of the video is important. I think I like to make my videos kind of like I don't know exactly how to even explain it, to be completely honest. I just like doing long videos. It's my thing. I like doing it like that. So I was tempted for a bit. Like I can just, like, you know, I can do a rush analysis of this and just rush it out, put out a video. I was tempted, but I did not do it. I did a really long video. It's 1 hour and 15 minutes. Took me a long ass time to make, but I will also be doing kind of a little bit of a wrap up video later on, because obviously these were still first impressions. I did a lot of research and, you know, looked at the video multiple times. I watched that video over 30 times at this point. Let me get a sip of tea here. You guys also seem to really enjoy this particular cup. I don't know why. This is something my girlfriend bought for me. It holds like half a liter of tea, because since I have to drink so much tea, I might as well drink it out half a liter at a time. But anyways, you guys seem to kind of enjoy the cup. I'm glad you do. But yeah, like I was saying, later on, I'm going to try and do a little bit of a wrap up, because I want to look at what VaatiVidya has to say in regards to Dark Souls. I want to look to what ENB has to say in regards to Dark Souls. As a matter of fact, I've been using kind of my social stream, you know, Twitter feed, Facebook page, all that stuff, to kind of try and consolidate as much Dark Souls 2 info as I possibly could, because there was a lot of stuff that was pushed out this week in regards to Dark Souls. So I obviously wanted to try and centralize as much of the information to give back to you guys. Speaking of which, if you're still not following me on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, I don't know what to tell you, because a lot of times I see a lot of comments on my videos of people asking, oh, where's this thing or that thing or the other? And usually it's already been answered in the social stream. So, I mean, if you're following me either on Google+, Facebook, or Twitter, you will most likely get a lot of information that would not require you to come to these videos to comment and ask about. And I'm not saying this as a lecture. I'm just saying that from a convenience standpoint, and if you have no social networks whatsoever and you have no interest in engaging in social networks, because I completely understand, like for instance, a lot of people might find this odd, but I actually don't visit Facebook because I don't have that much interest in Facebook. And I know that a lot of people are going to be like, well, what the hell do you mean you're posting on Facebook all the time? Yeah, I post to my Facebook page, and I also have it to automatically post to my profile, but I don't actually log in to Facebook because, I mean, you guys need to realize I'm always stretched thin for time. And going into Facebook, it's like a whole bunch of people are going to start talking to me, relatives, friends, whatever. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that usually you will end up spending a lot of time if you actually go to Facebook. And that's time that I honestly do not have. So if you go to my page and you post something on my page, I will see it on a different website that I go to actually access all of my social streams in the same spot. And I will see it, and I will try to reply it whenever I have time and whenever it is possible to me. And it is actually faster sometimes to get a reply from me on a social stream than on YouTube, because I actually, you know, if I'm doing something, I can be constantly checking my social stream to see if something happens, but I will not always be checking my YouTube emails, because I usually, when I go to check in my YouTube emails, I just save it, you know, like a chunk of time. Like I'll be like, I'm gonna spend like half an hour, go through all these comments and stuff. Like for instance, right now, I think there's like 50 comments. Yeah, there's 54 comments. Well, 54 things that happen, because all the stuff that gets sent there is both YouTube comments as well as subscription notifies and everything. So right now there's 54 things that I need to eventually go and check up on YouTube. And like I said, when I go to YouTube, I actually save a little bit of time so that I can actually go through the comments. And on the social networks, it's easier because I just have the window open. Whenever something happens, it's usually something short, and I can instantly go there and see, okay, this person, this thing, and I can give it a quick reply or something, because I'll be editing a video or whatever, and it's just easier. So if you need like a really quick quick reply from me. Usually it's easier to get it on the social streams. Now, on Google Plus, it's harder, I'll be honest, because I don't have as much time as I would like to manage all these things. So sometimes if you're trying to get in touch with me through Google Plus, I don't think anyone has, because not a lot of people really use Google Plus, but the option is still there. I have a Google Plus page that you can follow, and it gets updated regularly at the same time as Facebook and my Facebook page and Twitter. Now, if you don't have any of these social networks and you're not interested in any of these social networks, I would suggest, and this is a suggestion, that you would create at the very least a Twitter account. And why do I say Twitter? Because it's the most minimalistic and most simplistic one. And you can just follow me on Twitter, because that's actually, to be completely honest, of all the social networks, the one I would actually consider like using, well, the one that I use most, like all the other social networks kind of revolve to me around that one, is Twitter. And the reason for that is because it's fast and it's quick and it's easy. I actually have the whole thing set up in a way that when I send a message to Twitter, Twitter automatically sends it to Facebook and Google Plus. No, actually, no. I manually send that to Google Plus. Never mind. But that's the way I have that thing set up. Like, I send stuff to Twitter and Twitter automatically sends it to Facebook. And it's just like I'm saying, the good thing about Twitter is that it's small. It's minimalistic, and it's like 140 characters, which means you won't be able to like send a friggin' essay through Twitter. You're just going to send like quick questions and quick replies. And that's one of the reasons why I like Twitter, because people usually have to really be focused about if they want to ask something on Twitter. It's like it needs to be very specific, which usually leads to a very specific answer. Now, if any of you goes on Twitter and asks me what the meaning of life is, fuck you. I'm crazy. I am completely crazy. But anyways, like I was saying, the reason why that's important is, for instance, because a lot of people were asking on my videos, Rurikhan, where is your Dark Souls 2 analysis? Where's your Dark Souls 2 analysis? As I was tweeting furiously, saying, oh my God, this thing is taking so much long to render. What the fuck? Oh, rage. You know, I was like tweeting about it, about what was happening and all this stuff. And people were asking me about it on YouTube. And I was like, why don't people just follow me on social networks? Why? It would be so much easier. But again, I understand if you don't want to get into a social network. And by all means, keep asking your questions in the comments, and I'll eventually get to them. But I'm just saying, if you feel the need that you really want to be more informed about that stuff, it's on the social networks. And in case you guys are wondering, but I don't even know what your social networks are. They're in every single description of every single video in this channel. If you go to the description, the very bottom of it, it's like 4 or 5 links to all my social stuff. They're all there. So if you were ever curious about what's your Facebook page, what's your Twitter, it's all down there. And every single video, every single description, like right now on this video, if you go to the description, right down there at the very bottom of the description, there's links. And you might be asking, why do you put them at the bottom? And I'm like, why would I put them at the top? I mean, why do I want to spam people with unimportant information? At the very top, usually what I like to put is the playlist for a video, so that if people come across a specific video, they can click on the playlist, and if they like that video, they can click the playlist and watch more related videos. Like, you watch a God of War video, there's usually a playlist link right at the very top of everything in the description, so that you can go and watch more God of War videos from me. But anyways, this kind of took a big turn to somewhere that I didn't want it to go, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll just keep on trucking on through. The next topic that I want to talk about really was also about this particular gameplay analysis that I did. Like I told you guys, I could have done a faster video. I could have, how should I put this? I could have rushed the video out, and I could have done something of inferior quality. And I didn't do it. And some of you actually saw me tweet about this particular fact, that YouTube and actually pretty much everything in general these days when it comes to news reporting, the person that gets the most rewarded for doing specific news reports is the person that gets the news first. It doesn't matter if that person did a bad job of reporting the news. It doesn't matter if he can't even write correct grammar. It doesn't matter if he understands the subject matter. The one thing that really does matter is being the first. Now, I'm actually thinking I might eventually do a whole video on this topic, but I just wanted to briefly touch up on it today, simply because a lot of you guys might think that I was like demotivated with what happened. No, that's not the case. When I tweeted and I sent out the message through my social networks that I actually said it saddened me the fact that the people that get rewarded are the people that get there first and not necessarily the people who are the best people at reporting wherever the hell they were reporting. It saddens me. It doesn't really demotivate me, and it doesn't really make me, change my ways. I'm not going to change my ways because I want to be the first or whatever. A long time ago, I made a decision mostly because my internet connection at the time was pretty bad. So my decision was like, look, I'm never going to be the first at getting stuff out there. I'm never really going to be the first because my internet connection is a piece of crap. I live in Portugal. I have very little chances of actually getting exclusive anything. So one of the things that I want to strive for is I want to be the best. Like, I don't want to be the first. I want to be the best. Now that I think about it, there's some kind of a sex joke in there. But that was always been something that I've strived for. I've always strived for being the best. Now, I'm not saying I am the best. Clearly not even in the slightest. There are people who can do this job a lot better than me. But I try. I really do try. And every single time that I put out a video, I want that video to kind of say something about me and this channel. I want it to be a good video. But having said this, I have to admit that being the first is definitely something that has in the past granted me additional subscribers. For instance, you guys might not be aware of this. A majority of you might not be aware of this, but I am pretty sure that a lot of the subscribers that I've got in recent months came from actually watching a specific video. And when I tell you guys what video it is, you guys are not really going to believe it, but it is my God of War multiplayer beta video. Yeah, that video. The video where I was actually playing really, really poorly. And it was actually not really one of my best videos. But the reason why I did that video is because, look, I had two choices here on that particular time, because this was right before I actually had to travel outside of the country. Some of you guys might remember that, some of you guys might not. I actually had to go to Brazil to help my father out with some stuff. I know that just sounds so casual. It's like, look, yeah, I just had to casually go to Brazil, help my father out with some stuff. No, but seriously, I had to travel to Brazil to help my father with some business that he had there. And that video was made right before I left. And at that point, I had two choices when I made that video. It was like, look, I can either make one video that I spent a couple of hours playing, because the game, when I had access to God of War Ascension multiplayer beta, I had access through PlayStation Plus. And it was just like a couple of days before I had to leave. I wasn't even aware they were going to do it. It's like all of a sudden I see this email that says, "Oh, you now have access to God of War multiplayer beta." And this is something that I was really interested in because, as you guys know, I even bought the collector's edition. I'm still playing the game. Well, I'm not playing the single player. You guys are watching videos of the single player, but I've already finished the single player a long time ago. But I've actually played the crap out of the multiplayer. I'm still playing. I still want to make more videos on it. So at the time, it seemed like, look, I really want to play this game. So I started playing it. The first thing I did was I live streamed it because I was also testing out YouTube live stream, whatnot. So I live streamed it, and a lot of people actually liked it. They thought it was fun. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try to do a video of it. It wasn't my best video, but at that time I was like, look, I'm either going to make this video now, or by the time I come back, I'm not even going to have access to the beta, not going to be able to do anything at all. So those were my two choices, and I chose to make the video. Now, the video is not bad. It's just simply not one of my best videos. I would have liked it to be better. But as you guys will be able to see, if you guys actually Google and look for that video is about to hit 60,000 views. Now, you guys might think, 60,000 views, is that like a lot? Well, to my channel, it is. It is a lot. And as a matter of fact, it is so much that it is the most viewed video in my channel right now. And this is just to show you guys the importance of being the first. Because it's like I said, the video isn't even as good as I would like it to be. I mean, it's definitely not a terrible video by any stretch of the imagination. But if I had more time, I could have done something even better than that. Something like what I did recently. And that's actually going to come into play here. Which is recently I did a video in regards to the God of War multiplayer, explaining the basics of the multiplayer, how it works, what you can expect from it, all that stuff. And as you guys can see, this clearly will show you the importance of being the first on YouTube, which is that video. Like I said, definitely not one of my best videos. If I had more time, I could have done a better job at it. It's not a terrible video by any stretch of the imagination, but I would have liked it to be better. That video has 60,000 views. A video that I actually took the time, and it was a lot of time. I was like 3 days straight up just playing God of War Ascension multiplayer, you know, kind of getting a feel for how to combat, worked everything to bring you guys a video. And I then recorded that particular video recently, uploaded it to the channel. And that is a video that actually took me a little bit more time to, you know, to figure out, to enunciate, to show the mechanics themselves. And that video has 1,000 views. Oh, damn, I even drooled myself. Sorry. Better drink some more tea. That video has like 1,000 views. And I realized that I'm kind of discussing views, and a lot of you guys are like, oh, who gives a damn about views? Yeah. I don't like discussing views. If I'm to be completely honest, I friggin' hate it. I'm just showing you guys the importance of being the first on YouTube, which is to me something that is just ultimately wrong. There's just something ultimately wrong. I don't have a solution. I just think that it's very, very wrong that simply being the first is the most single important. It is the single most important thing in YouTube is being the first. Like when my video was done uploading the Dark Souls 2 gameplay analysis, I did just a quick check just to see how the ranking was going on the whole Dark Souls 2 thing. Because I knew, like, I actually haven't told you guys what happened, but what happened was that particular video with the Dark Souls analysis, it took me 4 hours of preparation because I was preparing, writing notes. Like, I have this big, huge notepad document that kind of shows all the notes that I was going through. And I was watching the video, the gameplay video. Then I watched the interview. Then I found another interview. I rewatched those two interviews a whole bunch of times. Now there's a couple more articles that have came out after me doing the video, which is the reason why eventually, like, I'm going to give it like a week to let the dust settle so that I can go and collect all the reports about Dark Souls 2 and make like a wrap-up video later on. But like I was saying, I found all that stuff and I was watching through it multiple times. Excuse me, taking notes, everything. And that particular process of actually just preparing to record the video took me 4 hours. After those 4 hours, it took me about 2 hours of actually recording myself talking in front of a camera, where I was, you know, just expressing all the stuff that I had in that particular notepad, trying to actually make it sound understandable in a way, because I do know that I ramble sometimes and the stuff that I'm saying doesn't come out right. And in that particular day, my girlfriend was talking on the cell phone really, really loud on the hallway, which was terrible because you guys might notice, like at the start of the video, that I'm trying really hard to concentrate, and I was just like always looking to the side like, why won't you shut up? I really need to concentrate on this. But yeah, it was pretty hard at the start there, but eventually she stopped it, and that made it a lot easier towards the end to express and get my point across. But so that was 4 hours of preparation, 2 hours of recording. After that, I put everything that I had gathered into Premiere. I started editing it, and I was actually, you know, trying to edit so that the stuff that mattered from the gameplay footage that was shown. I was trying to edit all that stuff to actually appear at the same time that I was talking about it, which meant I had to basically watch my own video multiple times over as I was, just putting relevant video to show up next to it. And whenever my discussion wasn't related to anything in particular in the gameplay, I would show like pieces of the trailer and whatnot. And that particular process took me another 4 hours. So this is 10 hours. What the fuck is wrong with me? This is 10 hours already invested in the production of this one video. So when I was done, I was like, yes. So the video was released, I believe, at 8 in the evening. What I mean is the gameplay video was released at 8 in the evening. And so it took me 10 hours after that to actually finish editing the video. So by the time I was done, so let me see, 8 midnight plus 2 a.m. Yeah, it was about 6 a.m. Yeah, that was about right. So 6 a.m. I was done editing the video. And this was all just straight up, like from 8 to 6 a.m. me nonstop just doing this stuff. So I was done and I'm like, okay, now let's put this to render. And I was like, I'm even going to stay awake so that I can upload this thing as soon as it's done. Because I mean, I knew I wasn't going to be the first. I knew I wasn't going to but I wanted to get it in as fast as possible because I would not sacrifice the quality of my video. But once that quality had been achieved, I might as well, put that video up there as fast as possible, even if just because like about 100 people were asking me for it, and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube comments all over the place. People were like, Rurikhan, here's the video. Go do an analysis now. Go, go, go. And I was like, I'm doing it. But so what happened then was I put the video to render, and I neglected to remember myself. Neglected to remember. I didn't really remember the fact that I was doing multiple stuff, like shortening videos, resizing videos because you guys can see like little squares, I think, like here in my analysis. You can see little squares there, and sometimes the video will go full screen and whatnot, and all that resizing of video is actually really heavy duty processing for Adobe Premiere. Now imagine what it's like if you have an hour and 15 minutes of me resizing videos all over the damn place. And then on top of that, because let's not forget, there was also this camera footage in the background all the time. And this is full 1080p footage. So yeah, it was a pretty heavy video. So I clicked the render button, and I just start seeing the duration go up and up and up, and it's gone. So basically what happened was I was looking at it go up, and I'm like, this thing is going to take more than 6 hours. I'm not going to be able to stay 6 hours awake. I'm dead tired. I go to bed. Then I wake up. Thing is still rendering. I even tweeted about it. I think it was like, oh my God, thing is still rendering. So I had to wait couple more hours after I woke up, because I could barely even sleep. All I could think is about this video. It needs to go up. And so yeah, after that, after the I think 8 hours of render have passed, I was like, okay, now it's time to just put this thing on YouTube quick. I put it on YouTube. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take about 9 hours to upload that for you. Okay, is that gonna be cool? And I was looking at that. The fuck? YouTube, why can't you use more bandwidth? I have 7.5 megabits. Use my bandwidth. Take it all. Take it all. And no, it still took over 9 hours to upload the video. And obviously, by the time the video was uploaded, I then go back and I go watch like who got the first kind of, the kind of first search results, just out of curiosity. And the very first search result was Ghost Robo. Yeah. I was just like, yep, it's just all about being the first. It's all about being the first. That's it. There's nothing else to it. It's all about being the first. And I was really disappointed because, I don't have anything personally against Ghost Robo, but I watched his analysis. And the only thing I can really say is like, this guy has no fucking idea what he's talking about. He just got no clue whatsoever. He has no idea what Dark Souls is even about. He just does not understand anything of this thing. It's just, he just put up a video so that he could be the first, and that got him the first spot, and he's gonna get a ton of views and a ton of money for that particular video. It's just the way these things work. Now, I'm not gonna change the way I do things. Hell no. I'd sooner rather stop doing what I'm doing and go work a regular job. I honestly would. I would rather just like, look, if I can't be myself when I'm doing this, if I can't do the things that I am passionate about, then what's the fucking point? It's a lot easier to get a regular job, work 9 to 5, and don't have any worries about how many views your job's going to get, you know? It's just the only thing that I'm saying is I'm doing this for my passion. I'm doing this because I like doing things the way I do them, which is why right now this video is like, what, 40 something minutes? Because I don't know, I think I have a mistake in there somewhere. It's either 40 something minutes or it's about to crack 50 minutes. And I'm going to keep talking because this is the way I like doing things. And if that eventually, if someone comes up to me and tells me, look, you need to do things like this if you want to succeed in this business. And if I look at what this he's talking about is, and I'm like, but I don't like that, so I won't do it. So I quit. That's just the way it's going to happen. I'm going to stay true to myself because I feel that that's what a lot of people have come to expect from me. And that's just the way these things are going to work. But enough about talking about that stuff. Let's talk about other things. So first, I've released my first Dark Souls Miyazaki tribute run episode. That has been released out to the wild, and I'm going to be releasing a couple of more of those. I trust you guys are enjoying it because something that a lot of people have said is, we want to watch you die. And I'm like, well, in that case, how's about a low vitality build with the Calamity Ring on New Game Plus? I mean, I don't think it's going to get any more die than that. I mean, sure, you could go further. New Game Plus is up. But to be completely honest, it's not going to make that much of a difference because if a serpent from Sen's Fortress can one-shot me, I don't think that being in New Game Plus is going to make that big of a difference. That's just me though. The only difference is they're going to have a little bit more HP, but it's going to be negligible. And also something that I would like to inform you guys in regards to the Dark Souls Miyazaki tribute run. I mean, I say this all the time throughout the videos. I just want you guys to understand I will be leveling vitality on that character. And the reason is I want to use that character for other things. It doesn't really seem to be making any difference for the playthrough itself because the Calamity Ring pretty much takes care of me getting one-shotted. So the whole thing of me actually upgrading vitality doesn't really make a difference. It's going to make a difference for that character because I want to play that character for real, you know, for fun, for actual, maybe even going up to the whole New Game Plus thing that I've been promising you guys for so long. So yeah, that's probably going to be the character I'm going to take all the way up there. And by the time I get there, I want to have at least 40 vitality. So I will, at some point during the playthrough, I will start leveling vitality, but it won't affect, at least I don't think it will affect the playthrough in any way, shape, or form. So far at this point, it hasn't really affected it. So I have to assume it won't. Let me get another sip of tea here. So yeah, that is the Miyazaki tribute run. Some people are asking, why is it a Miyazaki tribute run? Because I'm trying to make the game really, really hard for myself. That is the whole thing. Miyazaki was a big troll, as you guys are aware. He was the guy behind the design decision of the Anor Londo archers, as well as other really trollish things in Dark Souls. So I figured this would be a good tribute run for him. I think he brought us some amazing titles, and I think he is an amazing director. So I can't wait to see what his next project is. And I just thought that someone had to do it. I haven't seen any tribute runs to Miyazaki, so I don't want to be stealing anyone else's idea. So this was what I thought about it anyways. Also, I wanted to apologize to you guys a little bit because of the fact that I am pre-recording a lot of that particular tribute run. So if you guys are suggesting feedback or something like that and you don't see it implemented a couple of episodes after you've suggested it, that is the reason why. At the moment, the way my life is right now, I have no other way to do it other than pre-record a lot of things. Mostly because, as you guys are aware, I am getting married in less than a month. That takes a lot of planning. It also takes a lot of family time, inviting people, confirming their presence, all that jazz. There's a lot of organizing behind it. There's also something else that's happening that I don't really want to tell you unless the person involved in that specific thing wants to make it public. He will do so in his own channel, but I will not be mentioning anything in regards to that. But let me just tell you that there's just another thing that's happening besides the wedding itself that also requires some planning that I'm also working on, and it also takes a lot of time. And there's also something else after all of that, which is, as you guys are aware, in June there is E3, and I will actually be mentioning this in one of my Miyazaki tribute runs, that I plan on going to E3. My parents are going to help me to pay for the travel expenses because it's really expensive to fly from Portugal to Los Angeles, and there's definitely no direct flights. And as some of you guys might be aware, I friggin' hate flying. So, but I definitely want to go to E3 this year. And it's just something that I'm really working towards too. And again, that takes a lot of time and planning and actually trying to figure out how I will handle E3. Just bear in mind though, I'm not going to E3 to actually bring out content. No. Because I don't have conditions to go to E3 and bring decent content back with me. The whole point of me going to E3 is getting a better understanding of how the gaming industry actually works, trying to make some contacts in the gaming industry to hopefully either bring you guys some exclusives or at least get some insider information, and maybe then I can do at least some cons casts on it or whatever. But definitely the idea of going to E3 is I'm not going to E3 to capture footage. I just want to say that straight up because I think it's going to be impossible and chaotic, and it's just going to be a big frustration. I want to be able to gather information without stressing over, oh my, gotta make sure I film this, not to mention my camera is like what, 6, 7, 10 years old. This camera is really old. Like, it films 1080p, but it's really old, and the batteries are pretty much dead. Like, I can get maybe a couple of hours out of it. Speaking of which, I think it says there that I only have like an hour left of battery. We still have an hour, so it's all good. It's all good. Moving right along, just wanted to let you guys know about that. And also, obviously, what this means with the fact that I'm recording a lot of stuff in advance is that sometimes the commentary that I'm doing might not be up to date with the current situation of things. Like, for instance, I think I said I made a couple of comments in regards to Dark Souls 2 during the Miyazaki tribute run, which currently don't really apply because new information has surfaced. So some of the stuff that I have said throughout the Miyazaki tribute run might not really apply. So if you see any kind of commentary in regards to Dark Souls 2, all that stuff, and it seems like I'm saying something wrong, it's because the information hadn't surfaced by the time I recorded the video. So something else you guys might be wondering, what about Pally Time? What happened? I thought you guys were going to do another playthrough together. We are going to do more playthroughs together. There's definitely plans for me to do more and more stuff with Pally Time. Of course, there is another plan for some more Dark Souls content for you guys because you guys loved it. The thing, though, is I have to say I was a little bit, I wouldn't say disappointed. I was just surprised that what you guys really wanted to see is more cosplay things, because to be completely honest, I mean, we did the Smo and Ornstein just to get that thing out of the way. It's not It's not like doing the Smo and Ornstein build was mine and Palitime's dream idea of playing Dark Souls together. You guys need to realize this, that doing cosplay builds, sometimes it's extremely fun, but there's a lot more fun to be had in Dark Souls than just doing a cosplay build. Now, obviously, whenever someone talks about cosplay builds and co-op playthroughs, everybody will always say, Smo and Ornstein, that'd be amazing, Smo and Ornstein. So we just thought, let's just do the Smo and Ornstein thing, get that out of the way. And we were really pleased with it. At least I know I am, and I'm pretty sure that Palitime loved it too. I mean, we had a blast playing. It was like the stuff that you hear us laughing, like, you know how I always tell you guys about the whole face cam thing, that one of the reasons why I don't do face cam anymore is because a lot of people on YouTube use fake cam and they're basically faking every single reaction. Like, you can tell in our videos of me and Palitime playing Dark Souls, you can tell by the way that we're laughing uncontrollably, by our reactions, that everything that is happening in that playthrough is genuine. Like, there's no bullshit. There's no exaggeration. There's obviously some planning behind it because we planned our route. We planned our route because, I mean, doing a full playthrough in co-op in Dark Souls is not an easy feat. I mean, sure, it's easy if all you're doing is playing co-op, whatever. It's not, how should I put this? It's hard to explain, but it's not an easy feat to do a cosplay without shields. You know, it's not easy to limit yourself to really just be Smo and Ornstein and do a full playthrough of Dark Souls just as Smo and Ornstein and show the people as many of the playthrough as possible. Because there's several sections in Dark Souls where you actually can't summon, which is the reason why we had to plan a route. Like, look, we'll go here and then I'll summon you there, and then we'll go there and you'll summon me here. You know, we actually planned these things out. It took a lot of time, it took a lot of preparation. I mean, every single time. You guys might be thinking, oh, but DSC fixed out. Yeah, but it wasn't out when we recorded it. That whole thing has been recorded without DSC fix. We manually synced up every single session. It was not the most fun time, the sync times that we had to wait to actually sync up and all that jazz. But it was definitely fun when we were actually playing, and there's a lot of points where you can see that we're just cracking up. We can barely do commentary. We're just like, oh my God, you know, that stuff is not fake. That's the way it happened. And that's something that I really like bringing to you guys. Authenticity. I like doing things that are real. I do not like faking enthusiasm or any of that stuff. And like I said, we had a blast. We're still planning on a lot of stuff that we want to do together. And there's definitely another Dark Souls plan in there somewhere in the middle, but I cannot confirm to you guys what it's going to be about. What I can tell you is that most likely will not be a cosplay playthrough. I know that a lot of you guys, want to see Artorias and Siren. That was like the most voted one, I think. Artorias. Actually, I think it's Red Lord's Blade Kieran. I'm not 100% sure, but whatever. That was like one of the most voted ones. Artorias and Lord's Blade Kieran. And I have to say, I mean, really, you guys want to force us to play without shields again? It's not that much fun, trust me. I mean, it's fun to play it, but I mean, you're always thinking, how am I going to overcome this particular difficulty without a shield, you know? And a lot of the times when I play Dark Souls, I actually want to play Dark Souls to relax. And a lot of the stuff that you guys ask me to do is the exact opposite. Like, I end up playing Dark Souls and I end up being a lot more stressed out than if I hadn't even played to begin with, which is, it actually concerns me a little bit, especially with the Miyazaki tribute run that I'm doing right now, where there's a ton of deaths. I mean, you guys seen the trailer, all those deaths happened. That particular montage will actually appear in episode 7, which is the episode where I actually go on to take on Smo and Ornstein. Now, for all you guys know, that can be where I am right now, and I'm not going to confirm nor deny. So anyways, yeah, there is stuff planned with Palitime. So in regards to also God of War Ascension, That playthrough is still going up in the channel at this point, I think. I haven't really started playing the next Gods of War because, like I told you guys, I have a plan that I want to play through all the Gods of War in chronological order. Haven't really gotten started on that. Like I said, I haven't had a lot of time. But the full playthrough of God of War is already done. So if you guys are wondering, is he going to complete it? Is he not? I will be completing it. Don't you worry. It's already done. As a matter of fact, I don't think there's a lot of episodes left even. The thing is 17 episodes long, if you guys were wondering. Because the story is actually not that big. As a matter of fact, I have to say that Jason McDonald told me in the interview, our initial play tests were 12 hours. And I'm like, so how come mine took like 8? I'm sorry, Jason. You kind of pulled a fast one on me in that interview, I have to say. That's the way I feel anyway. Also, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider was not a big success in the channel, which doesn't really surprise me. When I got started playing Tomb Raider, one of the main reasons why I did play Tomb Raider is because it was a game I really wanted to play. I saw the coverage, like I didn't even cover it day one. So I already knew that like I'm not even going into this like super hardcore, but I watched some videos of it and I was just like, this looks nothing like the previous Tomb Raiders. This looks like Uncharted. This looks like something I could really get into. And that's the reason why I ended up doing the videos on Tomb Raider, is simply because I was going to play that game regardless. And I thought I might as well record it because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a big game. And despite if it doesn't get that many views, at least it will show my fans a different game, to, you know, just in the sense of variety. If you guys ever feel like you want to watch me do something a little bit different, there's always that full Tomb Raider playthrough there. And yes, I have also finished Tomb Raider at this point. As a matter of fact, I finished Tomb Raider a long time ago. Because like I'm telling you guys, I'm recording a lot of stuff in advance, unfortunately, at this point in my life, and all the way up until mid-June, I'm going to have to just constantly pre-record things to post on the channel to keep giving you guys content. So that's what I meant when I said earlier in the cast that interaction that I want to have is not really going to be as much as I would like to have for the next couple of months, simply because I'm going to be pre-recording a lot of stuff. And I noticed that my voice is slowly going away, but don't worry, it's still here. So yeah, God of War Ascension, that's already finished. It's just a matter of time, and you guys will be able to see all the episodes. I've been uploading those. Same thing for Tomb Raider. The Miyazaki tribute run is currently 8 episodes strong. I believe most of you that follow me on my social networks already know this. And I also wanted to mention that recording 3 playthroughs at once, because I was doing the Pallytime playthrough with the Smoy Ornstein playthrough with Pallytime, and God of War and Tomb Raider at the same time. And doing 3 playthroughs at the same time is actually a bit of a pain in the ass when you play the same way I play, which is I always want to min-max things and whatnot. It's actually very challenging, and I don't think it's something that I plan on tackling in the near future. Most definitely not, particularly because there is a wedding coming up. Yes, I've heard that's a big deal when you actually get married. Something else I wanted to touch on is I did a Cons cast, which was a EZO edition, which basically means it was the Elder Scrolls Online edition with Pallytime. And at the time I said I wanted to do more of those. The reason we haven't gotten back to it is, again, time. Time has not been my friend with preparing for the wedding and all this other stuff that I already told you guys about. It has not been easy to actually find time for every single project that I want to do. So the Cons Cast EZO edition took a little bit of a back seat, but I plan on going back to it when I actually have more time to dedicate to analyze Elder Scrolls Online. Also, obviously, let me give you guys a big set of news. I did not make it into the Elder Scrolls Online beta, and nobody was surprised by that. Of course not. I never get into any of the betas I'm really interested in. At least I don't. Oh, what? Actually, wait, I'm lying. I got into the God of War multiplayer beta. That was one of the few betas that I was really interested in, and I actually got into that, so I guess I can't complain. Although the reason why I got into that particular beta is simply because I'm a PlayStation Plus subscriber. So it's like, whatever. Me and a whole bunch of other people got into that beta. Not to mention, someone actually had the audacity to come into my channel and say, you only got in this beta now? Psh, I've been in this beta for God knows how much long. And I was like, you son of a... You guys get the feeling. Anyways, I want to talk a little bit about another MMO. And this is going to surprise you guys most likely, but I bought Defiance. And the reason I bought Defiance is I wasn't planning on buying Defiance. Kind of snuck up on me a little bit. Well, I knew about Defiance. I saw the whole concept of it interacting with the sci-fi show and all that stuff. And it didn't really seem very interesting to me. I looked at the gameplay. Again, didn't really seem that interesting to me. And then the game eventually came out, and I'm like, okay, so let's check out what this is all about. I started looking at footage. Some of the first stuff that came out was total biscuits, pretty much insulting of the AI of the game. That was, excuse me, that was one of the very first things that that came out, and I was like, yeah, don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I didn't really care about the whole stuff in the tutorial area, but then I started watching Force's coverage. If you guys don't know, Force SC2 Strategy, whatever his channel name is, started watching his coverage, and it was actually interesting because I was watching and he was excited about the game. He's having fun with the game, and I was like, yeah, that actually looks like fun. I think I could get into that. One of the things I really liked is the vehicle aspect of things, where you can actually get a vehicle instead of a mount, and it actually works like a vehicle. You can run people over, and I started watching more and more of it, and eventually I was like, I really should check this game out, because I have a feeling that this game is either gonna do decent or it's gonna flop. It's one of the two. It's either gonna do decent, average, or it's gonna flop. And if it will flop, it's only going to be fun the first couple of months, because there's going to be a lot of people playing during those first couple of months. And then if the game eventually flops, nobody else is going to be playing. And at that point, it's going to be one of the most boring games of all times. So I thought, if I want to get into this, I either get into this now or I don't get into this at all. So I went to Green Man Gaming, because usually they have the best prices for a lot of games and whatnot. And they usually also have like a special discount voucher every single week that you can use to get discounts in games and whatnot. I'm not sponsored by Green Man Gaming, just like I'm not sponsored by anyone. I just, when I find good deals, I come and I tell you guys about it. You guys know how I am. Authentic, no bullshit. If I ever do get sponsored by anyone, trust me, you're going to be the first ones to know. I'm going to say, I was sponsored by friggin' Doritos. Which would be really bad, because with my current health issue, I wouldn't be able to eat them. Crap. And I love Doritos. God damn it. Anyways. Defiance. Like I said, it's either only going to be fun throughout the first couple of months if it eventually flops, or it's going to keep being fun if it actually succeeds. Now, here's the thing. I think there's a lot of potential in Defiance. Obviously, the game launch was unfinished. You guys can watch Angry Joe's review of Defiance, and that's pretty much the same feeling I get for the game, is that it feels very unfinished, but there's a lot of potential and there's a lot of fun to be had there still. And I think that a lot of people give Angry Joe a lot of crap because he scored it 5 out of 10. And to be completely honest, people need to understand that 5 out of 10 is not necessarily a bad score. 5 out of 10 is the definition of an average score. But due to sponsorships of companies actually sending out review units to review versions of games to certain people and whatnot, apparently the standard thing for average now is 7 out of 10, which makes absolutely no fucking sense. 7 out of 10 is not an average game. It's supposed to be a good game. Average is 5 out of 10. Below average is 4 out of 10. I don't know. I think that a lot of people need to realize kind of how the grading system works. Because when you're in school, if all you're going to get is a C, trust me, your teachers are not going to give you a B just because your parents sponsored them. Well, to be completely honest, I'm not sure if that's entirely true, but depends on your teacher's integrity. Let's put it like that. But anyways, I definitely plan on doing a couple of videos of Defiance showing you guys the game. It's just, again, time. But the funny thing is, every time I log into Defiance that I'm actually able to log in and the server is not in maintenance, because quite a few times I've actually tried logging in and it's like I log in, I'm like, okay, I'm ready, I'm good to go. And then I see a message pop up, in 10 minutes, the server will shut down for maintenance. I'm like, fuck! What's wrong with you? And, but whatever, when I actually get around and I'm able to play the game, it's actually a lot of fun. I've done a lot of Arcfall stuff. I'm only level 150 rating or 160 or 170, whatever. But you guys want to hear a cool little story? I mean, we got time. It's only been, what, an hour and 15 minutes? We got time. Funny story about Defiance is that I was actually playing Defiance. As a matter of fact, I think Defiance should be what's playing somewhere in here. As I started playing Defiance, I did not realize that that there were. I mean, I had known about these codes, these Arcfall codes that you can input to get like additional inventory slots and whatnot. But I did not knew how you actually claimed the rewards for those codes. So I went and I got the codes. I introduced all the codes in. Then I go to the game and I'm like, "Where's my rewards? Where's the stuff that I was supposed to get?" And then I Googled online and they say, "Oh, you have to actually go to the shop, claim items, all that stuff." So I go there. I go and I claim items and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna claim everything. So there was a vehicle that you would get in these codes, like a red painted ATV, and I was like, yeah, I'm give me that red painted ATV. As I go to the vehicle section, I'm like, whoa, the fuck is this? There's a Dodge Challenger in here. You guys know that the car that's the Dodge is sponsoring whatever, they made a special car or they decorated a car in a special way, the Dodge Challenger, whatever. So the Dodge Challenger is there. The Dodge Challenger is supposedly a big deal, whatever. And I was like, why is this thing here? I know, I use it and I'm like, oh, sweet, I got a car, I got a ride. And apparently I got all the rewards for pre-ordering the game, despite the fact I didn't really pre-order the game. Although I'm wondering, is the car a reward for pre-ordering? I never really Googled that. I never really checked that out because I never planned on pre-ordering it. But I'm like, is it? I don't know. I'm just glad I got it, I guess. So I'm usually, if you go to Defiance, I'm playing in the North American server because PallyTime bought the game as well. So every now and then we play together, and eventually you might see some collab videos with me and PallyTime in Defiance. I'm not sure if he's as interested in the game as I am because I'm really having a ball. But like it's cool. And if you guys ever go to the US server, like in the starter area, because that's usually where I'm still hanging out, if you guys see a guy called Rurikhan and he's got some wicked looking shades, and like my character literally looks like an 80s action movie star. It's really weird, but it's really cool at the same time. And then I have the Dodge Challenger thing. So if you see me rolling, you might be hating. Fuck, I have no idea where I'm going with this. Anyways, that was Defiance. And I actually I am actually having a lot of fun with it. Again, it is clearly a game that is still not finished. It still has a lot of bugs. I mean, the very first quest me and PallyTime did, we were stuck on it for an hour due to a bug. Like the quest would literally not work. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of problems still with the game, but there's definitely a lot of potential there. And there's a lot of fun to be had in the next couple of months. If the game flops, it's probably going to suck a couple of months from now. So I don't see this being like a big investment for me. Either way, I got it reasonably cheap for like 30 euros or something from Green Man Gaming. So I was happy with it. I think so far the fun that I've already had in the game has already, like, the 30 euros I've already paid for it. So if I never even play the game anymore, I would not regret what I've spent on it, because I've had a lot of fun with it so far. And still, obviously, I can go and play it right now. So, and again, I think it's another thing that I think is important is supporting developers that are doing MMOs and are not charging you a subscription fee. I think this is actually the most correct business model, so to speak. The main issue I have with the game right now is that the inventory slots that you get, they're not really that much. I mean, I got bonus inventory slots from the codes that I've entered. I've also got bonus inventory slots from the pre-order bonuses. And I still feel that it's a really, really small inventory. So I really wish they had made the inventory bigger at least. But it's a lot of fun. Another thing, and this is some really good news. This has me really excited. On the 17th of April, Soul Sacrifice demo is going to be coming out in Europe. In the US, my girlfriend just coughed really loud. I'll have to check up on her soon. But in the US, it's going to come out on the 16th. So if you're in the US on the 16th, you're going to be able to play Soul Sacrifice on your Vita. You guys know that I'm ridiculously excited about this game. So on the 17th, I'm going to be checking out the demo. However, don't expect massive coverage like what ENB did, because something that I don't like is spoiling myself with demos before I get to a game that I'm really excited about. So I'm probably just going to check it out, get a feel for it. You know, I will probably make a video about it because I want to be able to make videos with the Vita, despite the fact that that turns out to be really, really hard. Maybe someone is watching me from Japan and they want to steal one of those crazy Vitas that you guys got over there, because apparently someone in Japan changed Vitas and like soldered some friggin' capture card into a Vita and then drilled like a little hole to make a new USB port in a Vita. Like, I saw that thing and I was like, holy crap. I wish I had one of those, but I'm definitely not going to butcher my Vita and break my warranty to get a capture card. But I would definitely love having one of those bad boys. But anyways, at least because that would allow me to capture Vita footage. But I can't buy another Vita. No way. Just there's no way. So I'm probably going to be using the camera, which I'm obviously, for obvious reasons, not that excited about. We've already seen the experience it is for me to film Vita footage with my DVR camera. It's not a good experience. It's usually not as good videos as I would like. The performance of me when I'm playing games in there is pretty bad. I mean, my player performance as a player, my performance is pretty bad, and you know, I'm just not happy with that solution. But it's the only thing I'm really going to have to capture Soul Sacrifice, so I'm going to try and make a couple of videos of that. Now, in regards to another title that's also going to be coming out at around the same time, Last of Us. Well, not really around the same time, because this one is going to come out in May. Last of Us is going to come out in June. I've been actually avoiding the Last of Us media because I don't want to be spoiled. I want to have, you know, just be surprised with the stuff that I'm going to find in the game. But don't think I've forgotten about the Last of Us. I'm still ridiculously excited. It's just I've been holding back. I've really been holding back from consuming media from Last of Us, because it's hard sometimes when you watch a lot of media about something. It kind of spoils a lot of things for you, and I'm trying to avoid that for The Last of Us. Now, obviously for Dark Souls 2, I need to check out the stuff that comes out for Dark Souls 2, simply because there was obviously a lot of doubts and whatnot with the direction that they were taking the series. Gladly, I'm happy that those doubts are kind of slowly being withered away. Even ENB seems to be back on board, which is good. Because for a while there, he said, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to play it, but and I understand where he was coming from. I mean, I myself, after the first presentations of Dark Souls, not the current footage, the very first ones with Tomohiro Shibuya and all that stuff, the very first stuff that we've seen, it was like, which is why I said I'm cautiously hopeful. But right now, I'm actually really reassured, because we've seen some of the footage. We've seen the direction they want to take the game in. It was actually really, really awesome. But yeah, on the case of The Last of Us, I've been avoiding the media because I want it to be like a fresh experience. I want to not know too much about the world so that I can explore and have that first experience in it. So that is definitely my plan in regards to The Last of Us. And in other news, Dragon's Dogma, you guys might have seen me playing some Dragon's Dogma recently. I might even make a video about the Dark Arisen thing. And I'm even considering a full playthrough. Now, the thing is, timing on it is terrible because obviously Soul Sacrifice is going to be coming out. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, I believe, comes out on the 26th of April, which is some pretty bad timing because shortly after Soul Sacrifice comes out, and I want to put a lot of time into Soul Sacrifice, which is the reason why I'm considering a Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen playthrough, but I'm not promising it. And especially because, as you guys know, Capcom screwed me over once with the whole content match ID and whatnot. And it was very disappointing, and it is actually one of the reasons why I never finished the game, because it really took the wind out of my sails when they slapped me with the content ID bullshit. But yeah, especially because I knew that a lot of people bought Dragon's Dogma because they watch my videos, and then Capcom turns around, slaps me across the face with a copyright infringement. Yeah, that'll take the wind out of anyone's sails, I'll give you that much. But I'm definitely considering it. There's a couple of Dragon's Dogma videos right now on the channel from live streams that I did, but I'm considering making a video explaining to you guys what the Dark Arisen is all about, because there's a lot of doubts in regards to Dark Arisen, so that's something I have planned to eventually do a video on. But yeah, I'm probably going to buy Dark Arisen simply because I really love the Dragon's Dogma game, despite the fact of what Capcom did to me. I felt was very wrong and very rude, but I still really love the Dark Arisen game. And then lastly, this is the last thing I wanted to say is, does any of you guys have any contacts in Magic Circle music? Because if you do, I'd really appreciate if you guys could put in a good word for me and put me in touch with someone from Magic Circle music. I'm going to try to send them an email or something. And you guys might be wondering, what the frack are you talking about? The reason why I want to talk about Magic Circle music, the reason why I want to talk to someone at Magic Circle music is because I would very much like to obtain a license to play Man of War music in my videos. Now, I know this is ridiculously like a ridiculous stretch, like it's never gonna happen, but one of the things that you always have to think about is that the no, that's a guarantee. Like it's guaranteed that if you don't do anything, you have a no. You know what I mean? Like if you want to ask a question and you don't ask the question, it's like the no is already there. So why not ask the question anyways? Who knows? Maybe someone will say yes. I would very much like to use Man of War music because, well, Man of War is one of my favorite bands of all time. And it's just, again, it's about passion. I'm very passionate about the music that Man of War makes. And I would very much like to use Man of War music in my videos, which is why if anyone has contacts with Magic Circle music, let me know. I'd like to talk with someone over there. Anyways, that's all I really have for today's Conscast. This was a really long one, but I've been without making one for such a long time. For those of you who watched all the way, which I now know there's actually quite a few of you with the whole Gesundheit experiment. It was actually really funny. Thank you very much for watching all the way. I mean, it actually, a lot of people might not think that, like a lot of people might think, oh, whatever, everyone thanks their audience at the end, whatever. It's just this cliche thing to do. But it's like, it actually means a lot to me that someone likes watching me talk and talk about subjects that I'm passionate about and about projects that I'm planning to work on. It actually means a lot to me that someone actually enjoys watching my content or at least listening, because I can understand if people boot up a Conscast, minimize the window and go do something else, because I do the same thing with a lot of other podcasts. And that is the intention of this. I do the video simply because since I stopped doing face cam, I want to still have that one-to-one relationship with my audience. If it's not in regular videos, I want to do it this way. I always want to show you guys my real face so that you guys know that I'm actually just, there's a person behind all these videos, and I want to connect with you guys as I used to do in the videos that I used the face cam. And it just means a lot to me that there's actually people who will take 90 minutes out of their day to listen to me ramble about stuff that I feel is important to me and my projects and the things that I'm doing in my channel. So really, thanks a lot for watching. I will be trying to do casts more frequently, and I know that I say this all the time, but I really hope you guys help me with the topic of the community interaction thing. I hope you guys do a lot of suggestions for me so that because that will also kind of force me into doing cast more frequently, because I will start seeing things like that pop up on my email section of YouTube, like, you know, popping up like, Rurikhan, do this for your community interaction thing. You know, it will kind of force me into doing casts. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's just kind of a little pressure is always good. So I think this is going to be like the 5th time. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.